Ladies and gentlemen, your sweet Zionist Prince Tal, the traveling clad, here for another vidya. Let's take a look at Dennis Prager the Great and his analysis.
Dennis, I'd like your perspective on whether you think Hitler was far right or was actually a far left ideologue. Okay, thank you for your time. I enjoy listening to Fireside Chat every week. All the best. Thank you. Hitler was left-wing in that he believed in socialism. Remember, Nazism is National Socialism. Very few people know that, especially if you go to college where you don't learn much. But that is what Nazism stands for, National Socialism. In that sense, it was left-wing, but it was not left-wing in another sense. The left divided the world by class. That's the classic Marxist division of the world, class, the proletariat and the oppressor, if you will. Whereas Hitler divided the world by race. Race is not a left-wing or a right-wing value. It has become a left-wing value in the last 25 years in the West. All of a sudden, race matters incredibly. The left has actually, in some ways, abandoned classic Marxist division by class and now made it by race. But race was neither left nor right until this moment. It is not a right-wing value. I mean, I live among people on the right. None of them, not one person I know is a racist. They find the idea preposterous. So it's not right to say that he was right-wing, and it's not right to say he was only left-wing. He was partially left-wing. And by the way, he hated capitalism, hated it. I just read a new biography of Hitler, and that was a major part of the biography, how much the man hated capitalism. That's also not taught in college.
I think Dennis Prager's analysis on this is pretty spot on. What I would say is that I don't think that the violence and the racism are aspects purely of the right or left. For example, being an Israeli, coming from an Israeli household, generally the right and the left are not well established in Israeli politics because according to European politics / American politics, everybody in Israel is slightly to the right because of how we have to exist and how we have to live and how religion is really not removed much from the society here. So it's kind of hard for me to establish that like these are facets of just the left or the right. But that being said, I do generally believe that it makes sense that Hitler could be seen more as a leftist nowadays than somebody on the right, because you see the way that leftism today manifests in very Nazi-like ideology. While demonizing everybody as Nazis, the real Nazis seem to be the people on the left at the moment. There's obviously real Nazism, but there's no doubt that the general global right at the moment seems to be way more tolerant of minorities, way more tolerant of people. Just seems to be that they want a little bit of distance between people, while the left decry, and this is obviously a gross generalization, yes, but you kind of have to for a conversation like this. The left decries that it wants globalization, it wants diversity, it wants unchecked migration, but when the going gets tough, they're willing to throw those people out, the way that we see in Western Europe today, where they were so open and pro-open borders and Syrian refugees coming. Now you see programs across a lot of Western Europe shipping back those Syrian refugees they took back to where they came from. So yes, I do think that generally you could classify Hitler as a somewhat leftist with, I guess, like extreme right attributes to him. It's hard for me to make those generalizations and say he was either or. He was kind of his own special breed of shit, if that makes sense. Anyways, just a small take I have on things. Hope you guys enjoy the channel. Thanks for supporting me, and I'll see you in the next one. I love you long time. Glads, bye. If you believe in my content and want to support me, just know your help is needed. There's a bunch of great ways to support me, being PayPal, Buy Me a Coffee, or joining my Patreon community down below. Patreon is the best way to support my channel, and you'll get a bunch of cool perks depending on what tier you join. Another great way to support me is by buying my merchandise on thetravelingclat.com. I regularly drop new merch designs like this beautiful hat or this amazing shirt, where you can support the channel and get something cool for yourself. I also have an amazing Discord community with people from all over the world. Thank you so much for your support.